Hello, listeners. This is Link, and you're listening to Lynk-On Media Podcast. So, you guys have seen Antman and
Oh,
the Wasp,
oh,
right?
fuck.
Oh, the Quantum Realm. I didn't get to see the Ant-Man and the Wasp. I saw the Quantum Realm.
The
No, that's what
Quantumania.
he's talking. That's what he's
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Quantumania. We'll refer to
Quantumania.
Quantumania because there
Fuck.
was Ant-Man in it, but there was no Wasp in it.
No, there was no Wasp in it.
She was like a background character, which is very funny considering how they said they were going to focus on female representation, and yet
No, they did.
they did nothing with Wasp.
They made Janet the main character. That's fine.
Yeah, but
And the daughter.
Oh my god.
oh yeah. But
And the
Hope
daughter.
is in the background and doing nothing. So let's start with Val. What do you think? What did you think about Ant-Man?
I had to go in. I didn't really watch the Ant-Man like film stand by itself because
Yeah,
I was never really interested in Ant-Man. I was more interested in like Captain America and Spider-Man. Those were like the two like their own storyline that I liked following. Ant-Man, I
yeah.
was like,
Hmm.
and I find that because everything is CGI and everything is green screen, everything is motion cap, everything is harness work, that it seems too far from real at that point. At one point, Trey and I looked at each other and said, like, this feels like Star Wars, but not Star Wars.
It really does feel like they keep marketing it as a Star Wars, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, if you mean the bad ones, then yes, absolutely, because there's unconvincing CGI worlds where you put the actors in a blue screen that and they look like if they're lost. A bad guy that inexplicably returns and is worse than how he was. So that's check. There's a Mary Sue in there. So there's a lot of Ray Skywalkering going on. And let's see. Oh yeah, a lot of bad CGI characters. So I would say yeah, it's exactly like Star Wars, the bad Star
Yeah,
Wars.
except I will say, looking at because I also do background work,
Yeah.
watching the background people just just doing their thing is actually kind of entertaining. Because they're like, I don't know what this world looks like. I was just placed here to do something, and you're like, okay, guess I'm clinking a
Like
glass
what
with someone.
like what am I supposed to do with my hands? Like what are
Yeah,
what is this?
what is this?
Like
I have so much prosthetic on, so I'm just gonna walk back and forth.
yeah, I guess I'm drinking. I'm at a bar. I don't know. I don't know. What does the volume screen show? Oh, it's rocks and light glowing light stuff. Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? For those who are listening, Trey is like rubbing his head really hard because this movie must have given him a headache. And I would like to know what Trey thinks.
I'm fucking pissed off of this fucking movie, bro. Fuck. Oh my god. Honestly, like I had high hopes for it strictly because of Kang, and then I see what they did with Kang, and I literally I hated. Okay, I didn't hate. That's not the right word. I
Right.
disliked what they did with what they tried to portray him as, like this world conquering thing, but then he gets beat by ants. Fuck you. No, no, you don't get beat by ants if you keep on saying you're not the one with the hammer. As if you fought Thor and won, but then you get beat by Scott Lang. You fucking piss twat. How the hell did you? No, okay. The one thing I will give credit for is the CGI team worked their money and ass off to make MODOK look like a piece of shit. Like that was amazingly bad. That was Mr. Electric from Shark Boy and Lava Girl type of bad. It was holy crap.
I was like, I
This
can see his nose hairs. It's so
Like this
weird.
is this is
this
what they do with MODOK.
this is
This
MODOK? Jesus. Okay, at some point I fell asleep during the film. I'm not even joking. Val had to wake me up. That's how bad it was. I
He
looked
stole my popcorn to keep himself alive a little bit.
right.
so I watching about 15 minutes into this, and I look at Val and I say, I feel like I'm watching Star Wars. And then I look over about 20 minutes later and I say, what the fuck am I watching? Like, really, what the fuck am I watching? Because at some point, they force Scott to drink another alien's liquids.
Yeah,
From
was that the was that the Kool-Aid guy? Like I was very confused. Like he had to
He
drink
wanted
somebody's goo to
goo.
understand him.
Yeah. And
that was
then
a liquid translator?
yes,
Are
it was a
you kidding me?
You didn't catch that?
No, I knew what it was after what, but then I started thinking about it for a minute. Like, there was not a less disgusting way for the quantum realm to figure out how the fuck people like. Does Kang drink the juice? How is he communicating with all these people?
Oh
My
yeah.
favorite is at the
How
very
did-
end of the movie. He's like, I have holes now. And Trey just looked at he was so disappointed. He's like, I just want to walk out right now.
No, like okay. At some point, I'm watching the final fight between Scott's daughter, because I don't care for her fucking name. I don't care. And MODOK. And halfway through, I'm yelling at the screen. I'm literally like, kill the bitch, kill her. You can kill her right now. Like with all the saws, the guns, the weapons, the lasers on this freaking midget head body. You are not killing her. How are you not killing her? So
Like, is he really a mechanized being only for killing? Because he didn't kill much in that movie. I
No,
don't think he
I
killed a
What did he
was
say?
single
bothered by
thing.
his legs. I did not like his
Oh, his legs bothered you?
a lot.
okay,
It's just like
Link. The final line
I love
of his dying speech. I died an Avenger. I wanted to shoot myself. Why? Why? Why is
Okay.
that?
do you remember the joke before that
No,
right when he was dying and then I said the joke to you?
no, I don't remember. What'd you say?
At least he didn't die as a dick.
Oh my god.
So anyways, I sort of went into this sort of thinking, well, I feel like it might be a tad bit better than say, Doctor Strange or Thor or something like that. Like maybe it'll be a tad bit better. It's just as bad.
It's worse.
I actually enjoyed Doctor Strange because there's more moments where I was actually like there's because of the thriller of what they put in there, I was actually captivated and I was drawn in. I was like, God, am I gonna die? But with Ant-Man, I'm just like the dick jokes are funny. And that's about it.
The funniest joke in the entire film, I would have to say, is the Kool-Aid man was asking him, like, how many holes do you have? And the
Oh
guy
my
who was,
god.
and he just kept being on the holes thing. And then the guy who could read minds, he's like, he has 7. He has 7 holes. And then Scott's like stops and he's like counting his holes.
That
'Cause
part actually got me.
Because I was counting my holes too, to be honest. Like,
Oh my god, Link.
so when I'm very embarrassed to say that I did.
Oh my god.
I was like, I don't want to count. I don't want to know. I'd rather have the
Funniest
what you call-
joke in the movie.
That's
then
the
at the
only
very
funny
end-
joke.
Well, he finally got holes, so
Oh, yeah, okay.
So going in, I was always sort of confused why they would call this Quantumania. It just didn't seem like it just seemed like a silly title for a movie that they marketed as so serious. But then at the end, when you see it says Ant-Man and then the words the letters of Quantumania comes in, I just face palmed so hard. Like I got a concussion. And I was already like face palming throughout the entire film going in. So not only was that confusing, but I just this is the movie that they're starting off an entire phase of. Like this is how they set up Kang. This is what they're gonna do with MODOK. This is how they introduce all these sort of things. This is how they treat, the characters that we've known for so long. This is what we're gonna do with Cassie after she grows up. She's gonna be this sort of bland, character that every single female character now has to have like some kind of STEM background now, which is just weird. It just kind of makes all of them seem like the same person. Like everybody's a Shuri now. So there's that. From the top, I think Janet, it's the movie sort of revolves around her, and I think she might be the worst character ethically in the entire Marvel cinematic universe. And I'm saying that knowing full well that the new Captain America favors terrorists.
Oh my god.
So you want me to go
Oh
into
my
how why
god, Link.
Janet? What?
Your last line. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, go into it. Keep going.
Yeah, you okay, so for reference, remember Falcon and the Winter Soldier where he's arguing with the senator saying you shouldn't call these flash smaggers flax.
What?
What was the name of those
Flag
guys?
smashers.
Flag smashers. You can't call them terrorists, right? And I'm thinking back to the episode where they blew up a building with people in it, you know, killing them. And I'm like, this is exactly what terrorists do. So that's the type of quality of writing we're sort of dealing with. Now, Janet is such a terrible person that don't you think you may I could understand not telling her husband about the fact that she slept with Bill Murray of all people, but to not bring up the fact that, oh, I helped this Conqueror guy, fix his suit and helped him, like, conquer an entire universe in the quantum realm. And I know you're like a scientist who studies the quantum realm. This is information that you would need to know. But she doesn't. She doesn't mention it. She doesn't tell him. She keeps it a secret. And I hate when writers do that. J.J. Abrams, this is a J.J. Abrams thing, where you are keeping it a secret so that it could be revealed later on as a dramatic reveal or something like that. But it only makes your character look like a fucking dick.
Yep.
What I don't understand is her character. The way that she like presents herself seems like she's like a mother, obviously, but
Right.
then pulls out of nowhere, she's like doing like stunts that would like Black Widow would do. And I'm like, where did this come from?
She learned it in the quantum realm.
Yes, but it seems so out of place in that way. It seems so like so opposite ends. Like the way that she's portraying her character is like, I fought before, but like here I am now a grandma. Then out of nowhere, she has the same skills that she had when she was like in her 20s.
Right. Right, exactly. Like she's
And she's
still
not
like,
like, and she's like, oh, I haven't done this in so long. But just out of nowhere, her cardio and her endurance is like right up there when she was in her 20s.
interesting. This interesting point of view. I liked her scene with Kang. I thought that whole thing where she she's lost in the quantum realm. She finds this guy. They have a friendship. They're working on getting out. And then she finds out, it's revealed that he is like, quantum Hitler, right? So
Oh my god.
the acting in that scene, I think, is impeccable, and it almost makes me forget about the fact that you have a spaceship where you can touch it and then see the thoughts of a guy. Like it just seems like a very
Oh,
it seems like a very a factory flaw that you need to deal with. You know what I mean?
I tried to understand what this movie was going for, and I had high hopes. Like they're introducing Kang, the Conqueror, and then I saw the clip before I even saw the movie of him talking about him killing multiple Avengers, and I thought, well, Scott's gonna get his ass beat the entire time, and he gets outsmarted by a teenage girl. What's Cassie's what's the actress's name?
It doesn't matter.
She's horrible. She's a horrible actress, and I'm saying that with
She's really
confidence.
bland. She's
No,
really bland. Like
she's
com-
horrible. Like,
compare her to the Cassie, the grown-up Cassie from Endgame.
oh my god,
It
drastically
is
different people.
it is like it's like chess and checkers, man. Like one person is just this bland, like the new Cassie is just she just gives nothing to the role. I find like there's no emotion, like she doesn't really have any comedic timing. I guess she's younger or more fit. That's why they needed her to, because obviously they want to make like an entire franchise with her from the looks of it.
Oh my god, I fucking don't care. I don't care about Riri Williams. I don't care about Cassie. I fuck, man. Okay, hold on a second. Where the fuck did we go wrong? Because I really thought Kang the Conqueror was going to be the Conqueror. But then I'm
Yeah.
watching this film and I'm looking at what he's doing and I'm like, okay, it's really hard for me to get under a character when you take a character from the comics, make him sound badass, make him look badass, but he does nothing badass. Like they did Thanos justice. They did
Yeah.
Killmonger justice. They
Right.
did Gore the God Butcher into Gore the Pussy Willow, and they made freaking Kang the Conqueror into Kang the Bitch. Like I have never like Jonathan Majors is a phenomenal actor. He
Creed
gets
3, baby.
yeah, he gets all the praise for what he did with this shit character. Because I'm looking at this film and I'm looking at this lovely woman beside me, and I look at her and I say, "What the fuck am I watching?" Like I'm genuinely pissed off because they're making jokes out of serious things for no reason. And also, like, did you notice the Family Guy reference that they put in there?
No. Which
Do you
was
remember
that?
remember when he was in the core and he was getting cloned every 5 seconds?
Yeah.
That's a Family Guy reference from when Stewie and Brian went back into the past and he kept getting cloned from all the past variations of each other. That's where that's
Oh,
from.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, as I'm watching this and I'm watching this serious moment and I'm like, I don't care. Like I know he's gonna survive because of plot armor. And then I realized something. How the hell did Hope know where Scott was? They didn't say where he was going. They just traveled to the core. They didn't know which side he was on. The core is gigantic. Where did Hope come out and say, I know where Scott is. I'm going to fly in, get him without knowing what the consequences are? Like, how did they know?
It's from the system that they built. They had that technology thing. That's where I clued in on like of where they know where each other, because they all have that chip. So then they all know they all know where
They know each
like
other's
where they
locations.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, okay.
Oh,
So she
okay,
picked up
okay,
on the location. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's that. They at least covered their bases there.
Yeah, because that's where I clued in. I was like, oh, it's from because remember when they're trying to look for each other, even though they're on the opposite end, there's like some signal that they all like had
Yeah.
at one point.
Because they
Even
were
though
tracking each other. They were trying
yeah.
to okay.
Yeah, they were
But
tracking each other. Even though they couldn't find each other right away, they
yeah.
like knew that they're going to somehow end up because
Right.
Janet knows the place, and then Cassie and Scott Lang were just
And Janet would know, I think she would know like where the core of the machine is. I mean, she's the one that blew it up, I guess. So
yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I guess we can go with that route if we're sticking with plot conveniences, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's oh my god, there's very much plot convenience here. The whole thing, that whole sequence was that he was creating probability of himself, right? Like different probable versions of himself. Is that
Yeah.
what I'm supposed to get from this?
Yeah,
So
so the main thing is like I think Janet was saying, or whoever on the other side was saying, like they're just creating multiple versions of you of like who you would be, and it just multiplies.
right.
I think that's what it is. And at one point it looks like just a bunch of ants.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what they were going for. But why did they all disappear when it was convenient for them to? Because I guess the scene was over.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I don't
maybe.
fucking know. I don't fuck. Okay, wait,
It
wait.
seemed
Okay,
like it seemed more like a Rick and Morty thing,
no, this
which
didn't
a
even feel
lot
like
of
Rick and Morty
these,
because Rick and
yeah,
Morty
it seems like a Rick and Morty
actually
thing.
had humor. This thing had dry sense of humor with dry acting and dried up freaking characters that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. I gave up on this movie when they got to I gave up halfway through when they made the ant reference and then they magically solved everything. And okay, why? Like, this is really going to piss me off. Why is Cassie
Hey,
beating up?
take a breath, Trey, take a
No, no, no,
breath.
no, no, no. No, I'm not going to take a breath. Why is Cassie beating up elite security guards? Why? Why is she able to do that? Was she
Because it's her
trained?
because it's
She
her
was trained.
time, Trey. It's her time. It's time for women to be represented.
Oh my lord.
I think Eternals is better than this. I
Yeah, it
think,
was.
I did not
yeah,
watch Internals. I did not.
Internals.
Honestly, you would actually kind of enjoy it for what it was.
I just didn't
It's
have time.
not
My mom watched it before I did.
really. What did she say?
She's like, I don't get it. She no during the pandemic, my mom spent 2 weeks watching the entire MCU from
Yeah,
storyline. Like storyline to like how like the storyline is like built. She watched
in
it from in order from beginning
yeah,
to internals.
yeah.
Other
My
she
brother-in-law did that too.
the only one that she didn't completely fully watch was the animation one, What If.
Oh, the
She
what
didn't,
if?
yeah, she didn't
Yeah,
follow through. She was like, it's animated. I
yeah, you could
can't.
skip that. You can skip that. You can
I
skip the
liked it.
shows, to be
Yeah,
honest.
you can
Like,
skip
She
that.
watched the shows. She watched the shows as well.
uh,
In
I don't
order.
know.
In order.
I
So
So I
actually
give
like.
props to her for like sitting down, watching it from start to finish of the MCU timeline, including the TV shows in
Right.
2 weeks.
You know, the more I think about it, the more I'm like just stewing on. Yeah, this might be the worst MCU movie. Like, it really,
no, I still think Thor is worse.
really,
Ragnarok.
Thor worse than.
I think still think Thor is worse.
Mm,
No, because here's why. You put
well,
Gore
you
the
like Thor though. You really like
No, I
Thor.
don't care for Thor anymore. I wanted to see Gore the God Butcher. That's what I wanted to see. Wait, I just wanted to watch a fucking good villain after Killmonger and Thanos, and I still get Pussy Willow freaking bitches for freaking villains. Why am I okay? I think the only good thing about Kang was like he beat the shit out of Scott before he got beat into the core for some reason.
Oh, yo. Okay, so when that fight, which I think is probably one of my favorite parts of the movie, where you're actually seeing an actual fight, right? It's no
Yes.
Yeah.
CGI BS. It's mano a mano and all of that. If like Ant-Man's not like that guy, he's not Captain America. He's not,
No.
alpha
No.
male at all. But he's getting plummeted by this guy, and he keeps on getting up. If he would have said the line, "I can do this all day," if
I
he
would have
could have
walked
said
out.
it,
No.
no, 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 no.
No.
I think it's. I think it. Think about this. Think about this. Who is a bigger fan of Captain America other than Ant-Man? Maybe Coulson, but
Okay,
Ant-Man
okay, you know what?
is such a
When you say it like
fan.
that, yeah, you have a point.
Yes,
You have a point.
it
Okay.
and the writers totally missed it. They completely missed it, because this would have been such a great time to be like, okay, yeah, like, the captain is gone, but I'm gonna be the captain now. I am the captain now.
There
Ant-Man's like,
was there was a Captain America moment in that where he like
Please tell me
ripped
when.
when he was like giant and big and he took like one of
he got
the
the dish.
dish and then he
Yeah,
was walking with it with the
yeah,
shield.
and
I
he
was like,
walked
oh,
and
that's a
he
Captain
yeah.
America moment right there. I'm like, see, the shield is useful.
Oh my God, that's a
How
stretch.
is that a stretch?
He
He was
used it as a
literally
shield. So if you are you
he
telling
was
me that
using it as
anyone
a shield.
And
he held it like he
he
No,
held it
did
like
the
a steering
thing.
wheel.
yeah, no,
He,
Cap did that too. Cap did that too.
in the fight with Iron Man, he did the
Yeah,
exact same move.
the big cone.
But anyways, I felt like
yo, fuck it. Okay, fine.
I felt like that could have been a good moment for Scott to really, step up. Like he's stepping up against this guy. This guy is definitely going to beat him up. He has like Jonathan Majors got the Creed 3 body. Like you ain't going to beat this guy, and he's
Yeah,
just
I
like, I
saw
gotta lose.
because
We both just need to lose.
I looked at it, Trey. I'm like, geez, he's like jacked. Because right when he was throwing the punches, I was like, those are
Nah,
those
nah,
aren't like stunt acting like punches. Those are like
that was him fresh off his Creed training. That was him. Like, I still have my Creed like side in me. Like, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of it. I was satisfied because you know what? I hated Scott Lang in this whole movie. I hated him. Like he's the Nicholas of Marvel right now to me.
He's the best part about the movie. I thought.
No, I liked Hank better than Scott.
Oh,
Hank is always Hank has always been my favorite.
I didn't like Hank in this.
I like the
I
lady. What's the girl's name? She was like jacked, but has the spear.
Oh yeah, there was a warrior
Yeah, she's a
lady.
warrior lady.
yeah.
I was like she was very serious about her role.
Yeah, I mean her abs, man. Like that was like Zack Snyder Amazon Themyscira abs.
She
Yeah,
was jacked, but like
Yeah,
I would rather follow her story than this fucking shit.
that's what I'm saying. But like there was nothing really to her. Like there was
Oh,
nothing.
Link, I okay, remember like in where we're talking about Wakanda Forever and how they downsized the scale of war? So tell me why this war sequence was a lot better than the Wakanda Forever war sequence at sea. I'm talking about scale, not actually just
Oh, in
scale.
terms of scale, well,
Yes,
because I mean Wakanda only had like one ship.
that's what
Like
I'm saying. Like
why
you
is
have one.
Wakanda's navy so shit? Like to have like one ship, and you're fighting a water guy. You're fighting a guy whose strength is to he his power comes from being wet, which is another
Oh my. Okay,
thing that
okay.
I don't even want to get into.
Clean that up. Clean that up. Clean that up.
It is what it is.
Okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay.
Like if you dry him out, he gets weak. That's it's in the script.
You know what? Okay,
Take it up with
he's
Ryan
not
Coogler.
wrong. He's not
Take it
wrong.
up with Ryan Coogler. I didn't write that. He did.
Is his name Ryan Coogler?
Ryan Coogler, yeah, that's the
Oh my
writer
god,
and
I've been saying
director of.
Ryan Cougar for years. Oh
Oh,
my
really? It's
god.
Ryan Coogler.
Oh my god. I'm so embarrassed right now. I've been saying Ryan Cougar for years.
I think he needs to go back to making movies like Fruitville Station because the Marvel stuff is just sapping his creative juices, man. Like I feel
He
these guys
feels
need to get out of it. These guys need to get away from Marvel. Like James Gunn, like he's now he could spread his wings and actually do some shit. I think just Marvel is just it just contains you in a box and you have to do the thing that's in the box and that Marvel formula is just not working anymore.
I do miss the era of when Marvel was like when they're starting to creep up and
When they were
like
just coming
yeah, there was
putting
just
stuff
coming
together.
stuff together, and then once they got like what got me hooked was Captain America Winter Soldier. That is still my favorite film. Like out of
Yeah.
all Marvel, that is still my favorite film till this day.
Yeah,
I
it's still a
think
good one.
still I don't know what captivated me so much, but the way that they shot it, the way that they were explaining the story, I can watch it 20 times in one day and I would
Right.
be just fine. I would watch it over and over again. But then as once we kind of left phase 4, it just seems like because they went through all this like basically the high
Yeah.
of the MCU, I feel like right now we're going on this like weird slope of them trying to keep that high up because everyone's been like this. And now because of the new stuff that they're coming out with, it's starting to slope
Yeah. It's
down.
definitely feeling like the last two seasons of Game of Thrones where the quality is just not there anymore. That creative juice that they had, that that backbone, that seriousness that they had for the thing. It just feels like too many corners are being cut. The
Yeah.
characters aren't taken seriously.
And then it seems like Disney is just throwing the money because they know this is gonna work. We're gonna earn money.
Yeah, because people are just gonna go
From
watch it anyways. Like that's
Yeah.
what that's what
You
the
know what?
thinking is.
You know, I think the process happened was like Endgame was supposed to be Endgame, and then they were gonna do other things within Marvel, but not make a timeline again. I
Yeah.
think that Endgame was supposed to be the finished product of Avengers of that whole thing, and then Disney saw the money from just the marketing of the part two Avengers thing alone, and went, "Nope, you're going on more." Like they
Yeah.
saw the money signs and just went, "Nope, we're milking this until it's dead."
Yeah. I didn't mind when they once we got into phase 4 with like the films and the TV shows, because I was actually very interested on like I want to know what's life outside of Black Widow is like. I want to know the life of what the Winter Soldier feels and do. Like I was curious on that, but then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I was still okay on.
Mhm.
But after that, and Wakanda Forever, because I feel like Wakanda Forever is like a separate film
Right.
from
Yeah, it
everything
feels
else.
very separate from everything.
Yeah, which
Respectively.
was very refreshing to feel and see. But then
Because
after
they took it
that,
seriously. Because they actually took
yes,
it serious. They knew how important the this franchise was and how
Yeah.
Black Panther was and how Chadwick was. So they didn't, they didn't put in like a bunch of jokes. Even though I could have done without Elaine from Seinfeld. Like I don't know why she's in these movies. I don't get it. Like I love Veep. I don't like her in this. That's kind of all I have to say about that. But you're right. There is a lack of, and I also think it's the new writers that are coming in. They don't care as much as the older writers. I find, like when you look at what Joss Whedon did and what James Gunn did, and the writers of Endgame and Infinity War, like they have such a way of intertwining these stories and making it about character and having the comedy come from what the characters would do rather than, oh, we need a joke here, oh, we need to, you know what I'm saying, like in
yeah, and some of the jokes weren't like back then wasn't even from the script. It was from the actors itself because they
right.
felt like in this moment, this is what I'm feeling, and let's throw in a joke. See what happens. If the director doesn't like it, we'll just go back to the original plan. But because the director really liked it, they've implemented into the film.
Yeah, like my
Versus,
character would say this, yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
yeah. Versus now, it's the director's like, well, like what you said, we got to put in a joke because we want to make people like feel like there's like we will have to draw them back in again. Like with
Yeah,
Thor: Love and Thunder, it felt like that. Even with Ragnarok, it felt like there was too much of a flex. Like the director gave too much
yeah,
um to the actors on the jokes where they're like, we're
right.
just gonna throw in every joke that you come out with, and we'll just pick the one that we think will just suit the film.
Yeah, and Ragnarok too. Like even though that was uh, probably my favorite Thor film, it still has that sort of well, it's just a comic book movie, so we don't have to, we don't have to make it serious. And this is like Ragnarok. The story of Ragnarok is the destruction of Asgard. It's about, if you know Norse mythology, that's what
Yep.
it's about. It's about the death of the gods and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of played as a joke here, and it's like you have so much here that could be dramatic, but you're not even taking it. And that's what brings me back to Quantumania. Like for example, Modoc, right? They made him Darren Cross from Ant-Man 1 that nobody remembers. But if you follow these movies, you know that that his main story was that he has this relationship with Hank. They are at odds. He's basically like the Anakin to Hank's Obi-Wan, right?
Yep.
What How emotional would it be if they were the ones to have like a connection by the end of the movie? Like
None.
Darren Cross changes his mind because Hank he became friends with Hank again. That
None.
would have been an emotional thing, right? Like that would have been a as a writer, like Trey, what do you think?
Okay. I understand from a writing perspective, but are we still going based off of like everything else in the movie remains the same?
No, take everything out of the movie. Just that storyline.
Oh, just
Just
that like they're trying to
yeah,
reconcile with each other?
yeah.
That would make absolute sense if they made him look more disfigured. Because here's why. When you make a disfigured character, you can see the flaws of what's happened to him in his past and his mistakes reflect on him physically.
Okay.
When you make that character into something that would reflect his inner turmoil, and then it becomes a self-sacrifice for when he turns good again, it has more of an impact. But the reason why I said no is because of how goofy he looks and how much he's just like, I'm fine with it, basically.
He looks like an egg.
That's it.
He looks like an
like
no, he
Mr.
looks
Potato
like
Head.
Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah,
He looks
He,
like
he
an
looks like a Mr. Potato Head. Yeah.
Mr. Potato Head with like jello legs. Like I couldn't take him seriously when he was like angry because he was like, I'm gonna kill you. And you were like, you're just holding like jello little
Like,
soft
look at your
things
legs.
and his legs are just like dingling. So whenever he's floating, he's like the legs are just like doo doo doo.
That was terrible, man.
That
Like
was
that
I
was
could
terrible.
not take him seriously when he was like, I'm gonna kill you. It's more of like, sure, your legs is your legs gonna catch up to grow? Or is it just gonna dangle?
You
like
It
know those
kind of
baby leg jokes was coming. You knew it
yeah,
was coming.
yeah, I know.
because it reminded me of like when Deadpool had the baby legs, but at least with the baby legs made sense. His just did not. I remember a reference. It just clicked in my head of the reference of what Hank actually looks like. He looks like
What?
Humpty
You
Dumpty.
mean you mean Modok?
You mean
Sorry,
MODOK?
Modoc. Yeah,
Yeah.
Modoc. He looks like Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
looks like Humpty Dumpty.
big head, weird stretched out face, and then like I don't know,
Abs-
string arms and string legs.
but I just think like if we were trying to make Ant-Man a serious thing, as a writer, I would, because I know Darren, we're gonna make it Darren Cross, fine, whatever.
Okay.
Darren Cross has this relationship with Hank that like ended pretty badly. If they reconciled and actually, you know, and if you sort of tie in that Kang was basically abusing him, like remember when Kang like brushed him away, is like, don't speak when I'm speaking, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If that were if they built that, I think that would have worked for Modoc in a better way. That would have worked for that version of the character because you
Uh,
needed something.
I would have liked to see a comparison between them as to what Palpatine and Darth Vader was. Like you could clearly tell who had the leash and who was in the collar.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I would definitely like to see that, but I
that's
wouldn't
exactly
make
what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't make MODOK a scary villain either. I would just make him like a depressed machine, honestly. Like
I wouldn't make him into a machine. He just looked, I don't know, the look of him made me not think that he pushed the storyline at all.
no, that's his actual look from comics, cartoons, everything. Like that's his look.
Oh,
Like arms and all, big head, arms and all. That's his look.
oh, okay.
I
Uh,
just think I just think you can do him in any kind of way and it would be better than this. That's my thing. Like imagine if James Gunn did Modoc. Like there's ways you could make that work. It would be hard because I mean it's a big face with little arms and legs sticking out of yeah, it is what it is. You can't get it. Stop doing Valerie's like doing her fingers, like making the little legs with her fingers. Like it's, but to not even try to make him scary or make him a sympathetic in any kind of way, it just shows the lack of care. I mean, he's just a big joke. They made him a
Yes.
joke. And that's what this whole franchise is now. It's a big freaking joke. Like you can't get a the God Butcher in there. You can't have,
Zeus.
you can't have Zeus.
Oh my lord, I forgot about that stupid bitch.
You can't have Zeus. Like this, that is the worst Zeus I've ever seen. And I've seen lots of Zeuses. I've seen the Disney Hercules Zeus. I've seen Zeus in Hercules and Xena. I've seen Zeus in Die Hard 3, played by Sam Jackson. Not Jesus, Zeus.
Oh my the only good Zeus I know was the one from God of War.
Okay, yeah, there you go. There you
That's
go. Now
that's
we're
the only
talking.
good Zeus I know, but
Oh,
okay.
come on. There's
The only
what
Zeus
about
that I know is from is actually like from like the art world, like Zeus. Like
like the
if
actual
David
mythology?
Like the
yeah,
Norse
yeah.
mythology god?
Yes,
Oh,
like the
you're talking
statue
about
of
the
it.
Michelangelo, the
Yeah,
Michelangelo
Michelangelo.
Oh no, we're
painting.
talking about like fictional characters.
I know a fictional character,
No,
but that's the
it's
Zeus that I would imagine when you say
yeah,
Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder is that kind of Zeus, not like
He was like a sexaholic pig.
yes, but like not. I wish
but
it
not
Not
wasn't
fat.
terrible.
fluffy, not
Not
fluffy.
yeah, not terrible like that. Like he's
No.
more like to me. I see more Liam Neeson from Clash of the Titans, Zeus. Like release the Kraken.
Oh,
That's a proper Zeus. But
okay,
we
Like
can't
yeah.
have that in
like
Marvel. We can't have it.
like I would like to see Zeus as like self-care Zeus. Like if Thor was like Thor body as Zeus, that would have been fine. But
No,
I don't want to see fluffy. I don't want to see fluffy Zeus.
no,
I
I
want to see
want to
Zack Snyder Zeus.
no, I want to see Tyrant Zeus, where like he just rules over everything, doesn't give a fuck about anybody who gets in his way type of Zeus.
Yeah, that's
That's a
Zack
Zeus.
Snyder Zeus. That's a Zack Snyder
So
Zeus.
you're talking about personality. I was talking about the looks.
No, look, I would want him to be beefy too.
Yeah, I said like
Oh,
that Thor body as Zeus.
No, I want him to be
Val,
like I want him
Val,
to have like the Rock look.
look up Justice League Zeus. That is a pretty proper
Yeah, that's a
Zeus.
good Zeus.
That is a pretty damn good Zeus. Like, I'm not gonna hate on Zack Snyder too much because I think visually, like he got it.
No,
He
visually
understood it.
he had a good vision for what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Like even when he does like old Jack Kirby characters like Darkseid or something like that, you can
Yeah,
compare
the
to what they
Thor
did
body.
with yeah,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
you compare what they did with Eternals, which is another I believe it's another Jack Kirby creation, and it's just like because Jack Kirby did MODOK as well, and Marvel is just not doing it properly. Like Jack
No.
Kirby is spinning in his grave like a top right now. That's what all I'm saying. What I liked about Hank in the first two, like he just seemed a bit cranky, a bit unhinged, like he broke somebody's nose within the first 10 seconds of knowing him. Remember that? Remember in the first Ant-Man where
Yes.
the guy he's like having a meeting with Peggy Carter and Howard Stark, and then the
Yes.
guy tells him about, oh, you should have protected your wife, and he knocks the snot out of this guy.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that was
like,
great.
that's Hank Pym. That's Hank Pym. This Hank Pym just seems like some, old hippie talking about socialism and how much he likes ants. Like, get out of here. And I just think it's kind of funny how Disney's going on this diversity thing, and then
Oh my God.
they didn't bring Louise back, they didn't bring Ti back.
No.
Randall Park was in it for one scene and he had no lines. Like,
Yeah, no.
okay,
he was a day player instead of like an actual. I don't think he got actor pay. I think he just got a day player.
yeah,
Right?
just one
Yeah.
shot. He's in there.
I ca-
So yeah,
I can't find any love for what they're going to do moving forward. Like, when something's like it's been too good for too long, but then you start to see the flaws in it. You know what it is? It's like our college experience. It was good until it started to become too much.
right.
Yeah.
And then we just started to really like, do we love this? I don't think so. Are we going to continue with it? Yes. But are we going to enjoy it? Probably not.
I think
I can't say that about Marvel. But Val,
I,
what are you saying?
like with Marvel, I think I will always think about like their when they hit their top. I'll
Yeah,
always think about that. Anything that comes afterwards, I'll still enjoy it, but not like I would like 10 years ago or like 6 years ago. Like
right.
right when they hit that, like we promise we're actually good, and they're actually good. Now they're like, I know we're good, so it's similar to what's the other franchise that also did this?
All of them. I mean, all of them
All
are
of
in
them?
trouble right now. Yeah. I mean,
Yes,
Star Wars, I mean, it hit its peak and
it's
now it's like whatever.
but I think it's also the generation of directors that are now everything is like a what's that word? Um
Safe? Woke?
not safe, but also like for example, like iCarly has their like new
You mean
version
they're
of
trying to
it.
reboot everything?
Reboot, yeah. Right now we're in the phase of just rebooting everything that was created in the past because it was good back then, so it should be good. Like it should be as good as if we like create something more like now. Like there's not a lot of original stories, much.
It's
Like
basically your childhood coming back to haunt you.
yeah, pretty much. It's
Like
like what you said, Lilo and Stitch remake,
yeah,
or like
it's
to bring it
coming.
back to earlier what we were talking about, or
I
like
think
Mulan,
the
same thing. Like
Mulan,
all the Disney princesses,
the Little Mermaid. Oh God, I forgot about that.
all the Disney princesses, all most of the Disney TV shows, like childhood TV shows. That's So Raven. Now it's
Zoe 101 is gonna get a reboot.
yeah,
Zoe
Zoe
101's coming
101.
back, yeah. Boy
iCarly's
Meets
ready back.
World.
Boy Meets World.
Wait,
Uh,
what? Why?
yeah.
No, that came and
Why?
went. That came and went already. Don't worry about it. It came and it went.
That, oh my, oh no. Okay, so are we just going to assume that studios are not going to make anything original because if it tanks, they lose money, but if they do a reboot, they're going to re-back the old fans, even though it's going to be shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the well, that's what
that's
you
the
can
gist
kind
of
of
it.
see in literally everything though. Like for like Mickey Mouse, I know Mickey Mouse, their copyright like is going to expire soon, so anyone like can own a Mickey Mouse, like any
Yeah,
brand. So his contract's about to end because they had to backtrack on how long you can have a copyright for,
right.
and Mickey Mouse is about to expire, and now they're trying to look for a different icon in the Disney to kind of replace Mickey because Mickey Mouse's copyright thing is about to expire soon.
Yeah, because
Um,
Disney's reached 100.
yeah,
It's a century old company now. So I
yeah,
mean, Winnie the Pooh, they lost that. That
Yeah,
went
they did
to the public domain like about a year ago, 2 years ago.
two
something
years
like
ago.
that. Yeah, something like that.
Then they
So
made a
then,
horror movie of it.
yeah,
Oh, they did.
yeah, they
Oh,
did.
they did.
So the writer of Antman and the Wasp, Quantumania, his name is Jeff Loveness. Do you want to see what his IMDb page says that he's done?
Sure.
Want to
Sure.
get into it?
Yep, go ahead.
He wrote an episode of The Office.
Oh my God. Okay.
He wrote episodes on the Onion News Network.
Okay.
He wrote for Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, he's the one behind a lot of the Harrison Ford Chewbacca things, which is funny.
Wait,
Like I'll give
what?
him props. Yeah, he wrote that.
Okay, okay.
And he wrote a couple of the Emmy Awards because I think he was basically Kimmel's guy. Like whenever
That
Kimmel
doesn't
was host,
the Emmys doesn't help his case, but okay.
he did Rick and Morty, same as Jessica Gao from She-Hulk, the head writer of She-Hulk, and the
Okay.
Michael Waldron, the writer of Doctor Strange 2.
Okay.
And he's
Okay.
doing Kang Dynasty, Avengers 5.
Okay, so how does he have such highs and lows but he poops out this. Like, I don't understand. Like, if he wrote like such good material, where does where did we go wrong? Because I
He
don't
was
think like if
high.
no, because
He was on mushrooms.
if you're a talented, oh my god, if you're a talented writer, you should be able to work around this type of script. But I guess like a lot of influence from Marvel Studios does that.
I mean, there isn't a lot of. I mean, he has done comic books as well, so like he knows better. But I just think that Marvel is now just a machine. It's just a conveyor belt of just things. So even a movie like Wakanda Forever, which people sort of regard that one as one of the better ones, it just feels like it feels so cookie cutter. It feels like the action scenes don't really like I didn't like any of the action scenes, to be honest. There was the fight on the bridge with Okoye, but that's it. Same thing with this one. There wasn't a lot of fight scenes that I thought it didn't really stood out to me, except for the fight in the end.
I
But
think
other than that,
for the audience to relate, having some realism in it, that's where we find and connect the most compared to like most of like the CGI stuff where you lose that realism connection as an audience member
I think that's also a problem too. Yeah,
because they're
because
so out of like the world that it's like we like us humans can't relate to it anymore. It's like, oh, so he's just fighting a blob?
yeah, what are the
Blade Man?
rules? What are the rules of the quantum realm? Like, are they like how does gravity work?
Yeah.
Where's the sun come from? Do these race is there a race of people who are blobby people? Are there
Like
you
their
know what I'm
fighting
saying?
styles seem too human like.
Why are there human like people down there to begin with? Why are there people who can read minds? Why is Bill Murray there? Who is Bill Murray? Why
Yeah.
is how does everybody who entered the quantum realm end up in the same place?
Where are they transporting from? Like Bill Murray transported from like a rich like royalty place, obviously. Where was that from? Did we ever establish that?
No, they didn't. He just came in. He said, "Hank, I fucked your wife," and then he was out.
Oh shit, like Jesus Christ.
Okay, I should point out like a bias that I have. I despise the Loki show. People really like it. Just I think how they brought in the whole multiverse thing, how it takes away free will from the Marvel universe, how it sort of disrespects like even the Infinity Stones are nothing compared to what this whole
Oh
other thing is.
Jesus, yeah.
So I was completely just out of it from that show and how they treated Loki as a character. I mean, I don't even want to get on that, but it's pretty despicable what they do. I mean, he doesn't fight like how he was. He's not cunning. He's not brilliant. He's not smart. He trails around with the girl version of him. It's anyways. So going into this movie, I expected at least some more explanation of how this is going to make any sense. Didn't get that. I just feel more confused and I'm kind of out of it. Like anything that has to do with the multiverse thing that has nothing to do with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, I am not taking part of it. I am out.
Yeah, yeah, me neither. I'm done.
It,
I can't do it anymore.
it just none of it makes any sense, and I don't care about the Council of Kangs and Ramatut and all of that. I don't care.
I don't care. I saw the Council of Kangs and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not like the feeling you felt when Thanos was at the end of some of the end credits and you felt like he was a threat. I didn't feel anything when I was watching Kang. Nothing. I felt no fear. Like I didn't feel anticipation, nothing.
Because I don't know what the stakes are. I mean, when you look at the Infinity Saga, you're like, okay, so each rock has a power, has a thing that they do. When you put it together, this one guy can snap out half of existence. Like, okay, I can wrap my head around that. This, I'm like, okay, so there's a sacred timeline, but there are multiple universes. There's another universe with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and somehow the sacred timeline split, and now this is happening. And then is it a magic spell? And how does time travel work? Because I know Endgame's telling me something else, but then I saw Miss Marvels, and that completely throws that out of the window because she goes back to the partition of India and Pakistan, and I'm like,
Oh my god. Yeah,
It's
it does.
it I think it feels like the multiverse is giving too much, like not saying too much freedom, but like there's so much that they're like, well, it's free range now. Like once we exit this like universe, it's free range. Like it's a free for all for any writers to create anything because it's part of the universe now. It's part of the multiverse because there's so many different timelines. We can just run with whatever and it'll still make sense because it's in the
Okay.
timeline, like
Okay.
yeah,
multiverse.
I
you can
have I have
introduce. Yeah, sorry, what you're saying?
I have a pitch of like how you could have ended Ant-Man with the Kang stuff more effectively. And you two tell me if I'm way off or not. I would have had it in the same room, which is the three Kangs talking to each other. A portal opens, and one of the alternate Kangs comes through with carrying Mjolnir, Captain America's shield, and Iron Man's crushed up helmet, and just tosses them and says, "Where to next?" And that's it. Like that would have been a more
That's
effect.
that's better.
Yeah.
That's so much better. But
Even if it's like different, like if it's not the three, like if it was like a different like small, not saying smaller character, but like if it was like another Marvel character and like what you said did the same thing, I think that would still have the same effect versus where you see like I don't know, like 500 Kangs in a room just talking amongst each other and trying to see if they can rule the world type of thing. Seems like, oh, okay, so then are you saying that the multiverse, there's just so many of you, like so many of yous that we're just gonna get a never-ending Kang story and we're gonna just watch like a 300 episode of how Kang defeats the world?
yeah, so is it going to be like whack-a-mole? You knock one and then another one pops up? Is it, I mean, what? Why? How do you destroy them? How do you, what do you
There's
put them in another realm? Like how?
it's
And then
like
you're gonna, yeah, sorry.
it's
What
like
were you saying?
putting like you see a anthill and
Yeah.
if you look through the anthill there's like millions of them, so how do you kill them all?
And then you're gonna have the guy who wrote Quantumania do continue this story. Like,
Oh god.
I guess it's gonna be funny. So I guess we got that to look forward to. And that's, there is no reality to it. There's no, nothing is grounded. And I feel like, I mean, I had so much high hopes after Shang-Chi because I mean, at least Shang-Chi gave me a sense of, oh, this is something new. You know, Shang-Chi's not like a different version of a established character. He is his own thing. He has
Mhm.
the rings, these 10 rings, which is a new, like, I think it's one of the coolest weapons to ever be in Marvel. And
Yeah.
then everything else after that, with the exception of Spider-Man, has just been such a letdown. And I don't understand what any of this means. I don't even like any of the characters anymore. I think they destroyed Wanda. They destroyed Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange used to be a brilliant, you know, tactical mind, and now he doesn't even know that if you're fighting a big-eyed monster with tentacles, you aim for the eye. Like he is a surgeon. How is not aiming for the eye not the first thing you think of? It makes no sense. So
I think more and more I'm slowly falling in love with more is the Spider-Verse because the timelines and like the ideas, even for the animated that they're gonna come out soon. I think
yeah,
is it this year?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
yes,
yeah.
yes,
I'm
this year, yeah.
actually really excited because the way that they did with the Spider-Verse the first time around, I'm
Yeah.
really excited what they're gonna do this time around, because there's so many stories that have been created and so many ways that they've like played with the Spider-Verse where it doesn't feel like the multiverse. It feels like it's their own separate
Right.
world.
It feels like a, but again, the idea of a multiverse was done better not only in Spider-Man but also in everything everywhere all at once. Like how those two movies depicted this, it's just a lot more entertaining, a lot more understandable, and it you can feel like in its own way it's grounded in some sort of emotional narrative, where this is just, it first off it feels like a gimmick. It's like, yeah, sure, we can bring in Mr. Fantastic and turn him into spaghetti, and we can get Patrick Stewart out of, his retirement and get him to die again. When it comes to this multiverse thing, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't care. And none of the characters mean anything to me anymore. And that is the biggest problem that I have with this. I don't like any of the new characters, and I don't like the old characters. Like, I don't care about Hulk anymore.
Yep, I don't care.
I don't care about Thor anymore. And that's where we are.
Yep.
I'll still
All
miss
right.
Cap.
Yeah, exactly. We miss Cap. God bless him. Hope he never comes back. Not in this era. Not in this era. Like, it's done. Thanks, Val and Trey, for coming out. I think
you.
we kind of left it on a very depressing note.
It's fine. We'll pick it up in the next one.
Yeah, but the one thing I could think of lifting my spirits is when the Lilo and Stitch movie comes out, and I completely miss it.
I'm hiding Stitch. I don't want Stitch to be. I don't want to see fur on his face.
They're coming for him. They're coming for him. They're gonna put him. They're gonna give him teeth. He's gonna be like bad
I don't
Sonic.
want to see. I don't want to see him when he does a rah, where you see the saliva like dripping down his face and it looks too real. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that.
His tongue's gonna have texture. You're gonna see the inside of his mouth. He's gonna have eye veins in his eyes. It's gonna be great. He's gonna dance. He's gonna rap. Look out for that. He's gonna rap. Anyways, we are out. Thanks for coming over, and thanks for listening, listeners. And we are out.